I'm gonna text Amanda, who's the owner of Visions, and see what the game plan for today is. I'm not even sure what it is, honestly. I'm so reliant on my assistant for my day-to-day scheduling. I'm gonna have to switch a little bit of that up so that way I know what's going on. But I'm about to get downstairs and get organized and take you through my daily routine.
I had a dream, that was to succeed. That's when you was hating on me. But when I get bad, then you get more mad, and then you start envying me.
Good morning, everybody. Today's February the 1st, 2020. It's the beginning of Black History Month. And it's also the official first day of work for me here in California. As some of y'all know, I decided to work part-time with Visions. They're a treatment center located here in Southern California, based in Los Angeles. They're actually expanding to Orange County as well. So that's what I've chosen to do. For those of y'all who are new to my channel, my name is Kojo. I'm a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. I got my DNP. My dog is going crazy over there. I got my DNP, which is a doctor of nursing practice degree from Augusta University in 2019. And the last 16 months, I spent that in Southern Virginia. I was working doing forensic psychiatry, which is very interesting and is much different from what I'm doing now. And I'm not even sure what I'm doing here with Visions in LA, but it's a teenage treatment center, mental health, substance abuse, and I'm just here for the kids, to help them out. And I'm also helping the company out with the social media. We have to get a couple of things straight, but there's so much potential for the company with their social media page, and I'm excited to be a part of that. So I'm gonna text Amanda, who's the owner of Visions, and see what the game plan for today is. I'm not even sure what it is, honestly. I'm so reliant on my assistant for my day-to-day scheduling. I'm gonna have to switch a little bit of that up so that way I know what's going on. But I'm about to get downstairs and get organized and take you through my daily routine. And get the dog some food. The dog's a little hungry ass. Come on, Zoe. Zoe, leave Scamp alone. Good morning, Scamp. Come on, Zoe. Time to get the dog some food. Zoe, time to get some breakfast. And as you can see, the setup here is pretty nice. Got the Alexa. Yeah, 6 a.m. Sorry, Alexa.
6 is the smallest perfect number, a number equal to the sum of all its proper factors. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6.
Whatever.
It is also the only
Alexa,
factorial.
Pause. Anyway, looks like one of my roommates was listening to the Foo Fighters yesterday, which is crazy because, that's one of my favorite rock bands. So, I got my iPad here. So we're gonna go through my daily. Report that I get from my sister in the morning, so that way I can see what's going on, today. Okay, we're back up for real now. We're back up for real, bro. All right, so you told me to make some content for Black History Month. What should I be looking into to making?
No, you have to actually go on live and ask your followers.
Okay, but also I should also make something that inspires me as well.
Right.
So, of course, I'm gonna take it from a mental health perspective. Talk about why African Americans, don't seek as much mental health care, and switch up, throwing some nice little interesting facts here and there. So that's what I plan to do. So I was actually after I read through my assistant's emails, I actually went back to the couch right there, and I was taking like a small little nap until my brother came here. He got my ass up. He's like, "Hey, you're a content creator. Get up, make content." And it's weird because if I was at work right now, it'd be like noon on the East Coast. I'll be making content. I'll be on lunch break right now in Virginia making content. So have to get adjusted to the fact that like, my new job is this social media and also with visions. And speaking of visions, we're gonna, me and Kwame will head down and we will catch up with Daniel Patterson. I'll let him introduce himself and say what he does with visions, but he also does a lot of one second before you get into your TikTok. He does a lot of work on social media as well, and he's also a mental health advocate. And the thing I like about him is that he's very transparent and vulnerable with his content, and those are the type of people that I gravitate towards, because that's what I do with my content as well. So we will, a couple of hours, head down, probably maybe Newport area, get something to eat, and then catch up with Dan and see what's going on. But until then, I'm gonna get my ass up and I'm gonna make content because I'm gonna hold myself to it. All right, so a change of plans. So I was gonna drive down and meet up with Dan, but he actually decided that he'll come through to the house, and then we'll film some content. Kwame will film us, and then we'll talk about the game plan for some things that we can do at Visions related to education. So I might not actually leave this house for day one of work, but this is still work. Everything is virtual now, so I'm not actually gonna leave the house, but it's still gonna be work. Yeah, so Dan came over, and this is my coworker at Visions. So I let him introduce himself and talk about what he does, because he has a path very similar to mine. He does work, like he has a real job, quote unquote, but also he does things on social media, a book as well. Yeah, so I would say he's probably the most similar to me at Visions, but I'll let him talk.
Okay. I'm Daniel. I am the Director of Education for Visions. I'm also the Director of Education for PACE Academy, which is a college treatment program in Newport. I was a high school...
Is Newport a city or...
Newport Beach,
okay.
Yeah, just next city over. I used to be a high school assistant principal and teacher for 14 years, and then I quit in 2016.
Okay.
I took a mental health leave from school, from work.
How long was that?
In 2016, I took a mental health leave. I left on the Tuesday, and then I never went back. So I ended up starting my own company in 2017, a few months later.
Is that FMLA or?
Yeah, I mean, I just cashed in all my sick time. Okay. And I was going to take 2 weeks off, and then I just cashed in. 2
weeks turned into you quitting?
Yeah, to me quitting. Yeah, my best friend that I had worked with, there 11 years, died by suicide at work, basically.
Wow.
So it was very traumatic, and I was newly sober, so I just decided I needed to take space.
Really?
Yeah, and then figured out, like, I need to do something with education, but I don't want to be in the bureaucracy. Right. And so I left, and I started a company, and then I've written 2 books, and then eventually got linked up with Visions, and then I just sort of hustled.
Awesome. And your Instagram is Patterson Perspective?
Patterson Perspective.
Okay, yeah, we'll get that on the screen. And what are the names of the 2 books?
The Assertive Parent, which came out in 2018, and Recover EDU, which came out in 2020, which is a communication guide to addressing mental health in schools.
I'll have to get both of those.
So,
on Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon. So basically how schools can better support students with mental health disorders without outsourcing them constantly.
Got it. And so the mental health leave, is that a West Coast thing, or is that, because I mean that was an option with...
Yeah, I mean, it was a medical leave under the mental health category, yeah.
Okay, and so you quit your job like me.
Yeah.
I just quit my job to come out here, and I didn't even know about Visions. Like, I was okay with being a full-time influencer,
right.
And I was open to different opportunities. So when the chance came to work part-time with Visions and with people like you, I took it. But before, like, I quit my job, like, I had like a lot of anxiety.
Oh yeah.
In terms of like, how am I going to pay my bills? You're used to living like this. How can I bring my lifestyle down?
Right.
And it kept me up for a lot of nights.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've mentioned on social media that the thing that made me quit is like, I woke up one morning and I felt like the joy to go to work, like, it had kind of been sucked out of me. Not that I didn't like the patients, but like, I was becoming burnt out. Like, my caseload was rising, COVID was happening, couldn't see my family, couldn't
do things that I want to do on the weekend. So, like, how was your decision? When did you get the courage to kind of quit?
That's a great question. So I had already started like exploring other opportunities. I started writing when I got sober. I had been an English teacher, so I started writing, and just happenstance got published in the Huffington Post.
Wow. Okay.
And it did well. And then that happened on my friend died by suicide on a Monday. My first article came out in the Huffington Post like 12 hours later.
Oh wow.
So it was the highest high and the lowest low. And that was in April. And then I slogged through trying to I got to show up for all these people, and I realized I was drowning. It's kind of like when you're at the job.
Right.
It's either my sobriety or my mental health or
Right.
the job. And when you're in a job, you feel like you're not replaceable, but we're all replaceable.
Right. Yeah. No, I felt that way too.
Right.
And my unit was it was chronic, but then it started to shift to like an acute psych unit where you have people come in. Some patients would leave in 3 or 4 days. Some would be there for like months.
Right.
And for some reason, I had the thought that if I left, like the patients wouldn't get care.
Right.
So like I would put that burden on myself. I couldn't enjoy my weekends.
Right.
And it's like 24/7. You're mentally at work if you're not at work.
For sure. I know that feeling, and that, I mean, I was a school administrator, so I wasn't making huge amounts of money, but it was stability with
Right,
benefits and guaranteed income. So when we had just bought a house, we had 2 kids, I have 3 now.
Oh,
my wife
wow.
was like, okay, well.
That's difficult. So what'd your wife say about it?
Well, she was working full time as an attorney, but we're
Okay.
definitely a 2-income family.
Right.
In Orange County, it's very expensive. So I just was like, okay, I just need to make this much money.
Right.
I went and rented literally the smallest office I could find. I could reach across
Mm-hmm.
and touch the walls basically. And I just
did you work out of there?
and I worked out of there, and I did that, and then it just grew and grew. And so what I was doing and what I'm doing now are very different, but it's all mental health related.
And so the first conversation with your wife to quit, how did that go? Like, did
She could see it.
Okay.
She knew. Yeah. She was fine with it. She knew I could do it.
You saw yourself getting burnt out over time.
I was so burnt out, and I just had other, it's kind of funny when you are so focused on one thing, you can't see opportunity that's hidden in plain sight. Like the universe wants to give you
Right.
opportunity, but if you're not looking, or if you're just have no energy
Exactly.
left, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So it's been wild.
I felt that same way, and like I would complain. I'm not a complainer, but I would complain to my brother, and like he was in Virginia, so he would see me, and he would see me like during lunch break. I'll come home from 12 to 1. I could make TikToks and all that stuff. But by the time I came home at the end of the day, I was beat. I had no energy. Didn't want to go to the gym. Couldn't even make like a 7-second TikTok because like my mind was.
Right.
I was just drained, and then it's getting dark early. By 4:35 p.m.
Right.
It was dark. And like I got to a point where like I knew I had to quit, so it was just a matter of getting the courage to quit
I know.
and to go into the unknown.
Yeah. You gotta just jump.
Right.
Yeah.
But you say it is one of the better decisions you made in life.
Oh, by far
Yeah.
the best. It's not easy though. I mean, I'm in the beginning of my 5th year doing my own thing, and it's always that.
Right.
What's next for me? But I think that's just who I am.
Right.
And that's the addict in me, maybe.
Well,
or the anxiety in me.
it could be. You can use those same attributes, for good.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I have to. If it starts to get stagnant, I have to mix it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And I had only been a teacher or a principal for 14 years. I never, from 22 to 35,
Wow.
I never knew anything
Yeah,
else.
that's very difficult.
So
And then having kids as well. Like I have a puppy, but like to have kids and to make that switch is very difficult.
but I can't imagine if I was still there. Ugh.
Yeah. I miss the patience, but I can't imagine doing that. But like I'll still get emails and like different job opportunities. I don't work in that capacity anymore. Like I don't want to work another full-time job like that. And to see people do that for years and years and years, like you're neglecting yourself.
Complacency, fear,
Right.
all of those things. They trap
Right.
people. I mean, I loved teaching, so I think I ended up becoming assistant principal in a really quick way, and sort of just as a favor that turned into 4 years.
Okay.
So I lost, and it was just 60 hours a week. High school assistant principal, 2,500 kids.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, working all the time.
Yeah. And you feel like your work-life balance is better now that you do your own thing?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I have boundary issues with working because I love to work. But at least it's my own doing.
Right.
Like,
so you can pull back when you
yeah,
want to.
I can scale back. Like I took the whole month of July off.
Okay.
I didn't work at all.
Wow.
And I didn't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Right. But I couldn't do that when I was a principal.
Right. Yeah, and like I was in the same position. If I take off a month, like they're not gonna want to retain you because you need to be there a certain amount of days every week.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
And even like
Friday.
I take my kids to school every day. I can pick them up if I want. Like I can juggle my schedule. So it was weird transitioning because I gave up my offices during COVID, honestly, because I couldn't use them really.
So you're just working virtually.
Virtually, yeah. So, and then that was a big adjustment, but now I like that.
In terms of Visions, so now you're at Visions, I'm at Visions. What do you do at Visions, like specifically, and how do you feel like you're making an impact? Because I can tell that you're the type of person that when you do something, you want to see that it's making an impact.
Right.
You know.
So I run the education. So we have our day school, and we have about 30 kids there every day, and they're all from all over the country. So making sure that we're either coordinating with their home high school, so that they can still do work from that high school, or they come into our online school and take our classes that we offer. And then any students that are coming into residential, making sure that, and that's what my book was about, was really so many times, and I'm dealing with this right now, where the student has a mental health disorder, takes a medical leave, and the school's like, you have to unenroll. So then I kind of fight with that school because I know the law, and you can't just say I'm not going to serve you. And that's a double standard, right? Because if they had leukemia, they would be like, what can we do for you? Right? But if they have severe depression, suicidal ideation, all of a sudden they're like, well, good luck.
And a lot of times it's the school which is making the kids depressed.
Correct. So they don't want the accountability. So that's what I do. And overhauling the system to make it, because we have kids who have been so down and out, it's letting them like reimagine or rediscover that they are capable of learning, and that they are capable of going to college if they want to go to college. Because in that space, they're often told no, or they think they can't. They have
out there.
Yeah. So just helping them reimagine their potential.
I like that, and that's what drew me to work, at Visions and with the kids. Because if you get in at a certain point in their life, I feel like you can make an impact.
Oh, for sure.
Like they need somebody to believe in them. And with the way it's getting better with mental health, where we can talk about it more, but it's still a stigma around it, and people still don't recognize it to be a thing. Like the leukemia example is perfect. Because if you have, or even anxiety, which is the most common mental condition, if you have that, and it's to the point where it's affecting every part of their life. If you were to take a leave from school, like, the person's lazy, the person doesn't want to do the work, they're skipping school, so I think they have to like redefine how, the system sees mental health in kids.
Totally. And that there's not just one path.
Right.
Everyone thinks success is linear, like high school, college, graduate school.
It's actually all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, you can pinball pretty well and be successful. And then just educating the parents about education, right? Because like Steve, it's not like when you were in high school going to college, there's thousands of ways to make money that don't require a degree, or don't require one right now.
Right. I didn't know that coming up. We took this safe path. I mean, I like what I do, but like you have to take a course in college that would bring you money on the other side.
Right.
Because we didn't have anything growing up.
Right.
So we had to take the path that you knew you would. So being happy wasn't like a thing. Pay the bills first, and happiness on the back end. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to get to working with the kids at Visions. With the education piece. Like this being on TikTok, like there's so many different ways to help out kids, and sometimes it has nothing to do with the work. Like I saw a dad who helped out his son by doing the chores so he would have free time. And I don't know what your opinion is on homework. My last question, but like when I was teaching nursing students back in Georgia, like I wasn't big on giving homework, because sometimes it's like you're checking the boxes, but you're not like trying to actually complete the objective.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of homework. I think it's, I don't want to say lazy, but I think there's a lot of ways to have learning occur without homework. I think sometimes homework is necessary,
Right.
right? If it's a continuation, like you ran out of time, but as a standard like planned path, I think it seems to be a lot of pencil pushing.
I can tell you're really popular with the kids.
I mean, I gave homework. My philosophies have changed so much from when I was teaching, even to now. You know, but when you get sober and deal with your wellness and your mental health, your philosophy changes.
Yeah.
So.
And that's one thing that, I mean, I don't know too much about you, but the transparency that you have, we're talking about being sober and things like that, I gravitate towards people who are real, because everybody is, you know, somewhat faking it.
Right.
And when people talk about their issues, and the pandemic has really exposed who we are.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if you didn't know who you were before,
you gotta sit with it.
Right, now you know exactly who you are.
And who your kids really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nuts.
You know.
It is, it's challenging for sure. But I mean, even on my Instagram, people that I know well will be, you really want to post that?
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna hurt your business.
Right.
Well, I'll work with them anyway. I mean, I am who I am.
Right. And I like that, because it used, I think I have to give my brother's generation credit for that. Like, they're the ones who are really starting this thing of accept me as I am, or don't accept me at all.
Yeah,
Because
get off my lawn.
right, you know.
Right?
Right. And on TikTok, that's why I gravitate towards. So nothing against Instagram, because I still post on there,
Right.
but TikTok, I gravitate towards it because, like, you could be a brand new person on TikTok. You know, the people from church or the people you went to high school with are not following you. Like, you're just Daniel, I'm just Kojo on there. So you're just posting your content, and then on Instagram, you have people that you went to school with, people you went to church with, family members and friends who are worried that if you say this, then they'll talk about you at Thanksgiving.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so TikTok, you can just kind of be yourself, and the community that I've built on that app is showing that the way out is to be transparent.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's a good gift.
All right, so that meeting is over and done with. We made a lot of good content. You see, you got the ring light out here. So special thanks to Daniel for coming out. Really good people. You know, I feel very fortunate and blessed that I'm able to work with a great group of individuals. And now I have to quickly transition to podcast mode. I have a podcast coming up with a good friend of mine who I met through TikTok, Schizophrenic Hippie. That's what you all know him as on TikTok, Mr. Cody Green. So I'm excited for that. I'm early, but I'm trying not to run late. So that's going to be a fantastic podcast to get on there. His stuff is really blowing up right now on TikTok. So you all should see his image right here. But definitely check him out if you haven't already. But I need to hop on that, and then I can come back and close out the vlog. All right, so we just wrapped up the podcast, the Criminally Mental podcast with Zach and Cody. It was a fantastic podcast. It was actually one of my more favorite podcasts that I've done. And that wraps up my first day of work here in California. And of course, you know, a little bit of social media, a little bit of it is visions. And as y'all can see, this dog is out here begging to come out. Hey, Zoe. She's begging to come out. Looking at me like that. But yeah, it was a great day of work. I'll get the dog out in just a second. Making TikToks, educating. Later on in the week, I'll actually be at the physical location, the LA location of Visions, meeting some more people and, thinking about some different ways to put out more content online and just getting to meet some of the kids and see how I can provide them with value, what I can do, what do they need, what do they need. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing the rest of this week. And so that's just a quick look at, like a day in the life, first day of work, which is very different from, what work used to look like for me in Virginia. But 2021 is all about trying different things and being open. And that's why I'm here in California to switch it up and to do different things. So I'm excited to, embark on this new adventure. All of a sudden I can't talk now. So I'm excited to get this thing going. And I'm excited. You can see the dog in the back. And I'm looking forward to,
meeting more people with visions, and coming up with some different ways to make a real impact out here in the Southern California area. So until next time, I gotta be out because this dog is about to pee everywhere. Take care.